I'm going to try to explain what happened in my accident tonight. Basically, I was on a delivery run, and you know those homes that are like trailer homes, like, but they're not because they're actually houses. They're permanent, same materials though. I was in a neighborhood full of those, and every single home was on like a little hill from the road, and it's incredibly poorly lit because it's in a part of Ackworth that's like right next to Cartersville, and it was just like the corner, that itty bitty corner of that touches Cobb, Bartow, and Paulding counties. Just a bunch of backwoods areas, very poorly lit, just a bad area to drive in. What happened was I drove up this person's driveway, and to paint the picture, you have to understand their driveway went up and it curved, and then right up there was their car. And at the end of every driveway along the road, there is ravines, like those big concrete circles that come out from underneath driveways, and they help water flow down the street and stuff like that. Well, I go up the driveway, make the delivery, and the wife wasn't going to tip me, but the husband did, because he's a good man. And I ended up trying to back up. And it's that type of concrete driveway that's really gravelly, blends in way too well with the yard. Like, you can't tell if you're driving on concrete or gravel or dirt. I accidentally drove a little bit too far to the right, and I felt my car kind of doing this. So what I did was I stopped the car, and I was in a flat enough area, but I was still tilting where I could put it in park without the emergency brake and get out and look at it. So I walked around the car, went to see what was wrong, and I went to walked back to the front of my car, through the driver's door, and I was looking for my flashlight so I can actually get a better look of how buried my tire was. This is when, leaning into the car, I lean down and my hand slips like this because I trip on the muddy gravel, and I accidentally put it in reverse. My car, yes, granted, only like 4 or 5 miles per hour, but when your body is sticking out of the car, your front half is leaning in the front, it felt much faster. It started to curve around, and then it landed with its nose like this in the ravine part in the back, facing the homes. And keep in mind, it had just rained, and there's a creek nearby, so the ground is consistently soft there. It's like a giant mud sponge. It's just gross, basically. The front 2 tires were a quarter of the way buried into the ground, and my front, like, say here's my car, and this is where the front passenger side is. This part of the bumper was peeling up on the ground and starting to separate from my car. So I waited for 4 freaking hours for a tow truck to come rescue my car. And I was 30 minutes away from being done with my shift. It's great. And these people were nice enough to let me in their home, but they had guinea pigs and cats in a very poorly insulated home. There were those little tiny, like, water bug-like things that you find in apartment complexes, like really bad apartment complexes, kind of over a lot of things. Like, it was kind of creepy crawly, but they were very nice, very sweet people, and they let me chill out with them for 4 hours. The car finally got towed out of their yard and onto the road, and the worst that's happened to it is that one of the floodlights, because the way the front bumper is set up on a Volkswagen Beetle, they have random mounts that the light just kind of goes right into. And it popped out because that part was literally peeling upwards and holding on by a prayer, a very strong one apparently, but a prayer nonetheless. So I just have to duct tape that in. My shocks seem to be handling just fine. Rotors seem to be doing just fine. I didn't feel any weird bumping or, this when I drove down 41 at like 50 miles an hour because I couldn't tell how well my car was until I got onto like 41. So that's what happened. I have the most understanding and awesome boss ever. My car is fine. It's incredibly muddy. Needs to be washed, otherwise I look like, people who go mudding. And I'm just not. It's not me. Come on. So, other than that, and being blessed with a lot of people who were worried about me, I'm making this video because it's easier to explain it instead of texting it, because it would be just a long little. It would just. Yeah. I'm so mentally exhausted that the words aren't there. So yeah, that's how my day went. And thanks for worrying about me, but everything's fine. I can close tomorrow like I'm supposed to, and I can work the rest of the week like I was scheduled, so yay! That's what happened to my night.